Dracule Mihawk is known as the strongest swordsman in the world, whereas Shanks is the strongest Yonko, if not the strongest Yonko at the moment. Does that mean if Shanks and Mihawk were to fight, Shanks would lose? Well, let me ask you a question, and you'll have your answer. Goldie Roger was the Pirate King. Does that mean if you were to fight Whitebeard in a 1v1, he would win? The answer is tricky, isn't it? If they fought like Aokiji and Akainu, we'd have gotten our answer. But since it didn't happen, we'll never know the truth. However, between Mihawk and Shanks, we have a way to find our answer. And how we will reach to that conclusion? Let's find out in this video. Mihawk is the strongest swordsman in the world. Sometimes people call him the greatest swordsman. Regardless, the interpretation is he's the best swordsman in the world. But that doesn't mean he's the strongest swordsman of all time. Now, we need to find out why people call him the strongest swordsman in the world. I think there are two reasons. Number one, he never lost in a 1v1. I mean, as a swordsman, he never lost to another swordsman in his life. He might have tied with Shanks, but he never lost to him. So he still remained as undefeated swordsman in the world. Now, the other thing is the newspaper. Back in the day when Mihawk and Shanks had their daily duels, the reporters reported the news with excitement. Well, it became a form of entertainment to the public. Every day they wanted to know and speculate the outcome of their duels. There were all kinds of betting on their duels. In the newspaper, the reporters showed the statistics of Mihawk's win records. So the people came to a conclusion that no other swordsman in the world can defeat Mihawk. Since nobody can defeat him, he's the strongest swordsman in the world. But that doesn't make sense, right? I mean, Shanks should have also had a track record of being undefeated swordsman, right? Otherwise, someone would have mentioned it by now, don't you think? Moreover, the Marines said that Mihawk's swordsmanship is better than Shanks. They didn't say anything like Shanks lost to Mihawk or something. So if Shanks didn't lose to Mihawk or any other swordsman, why people acknowledge Mihawk as the strongest swordsman? Why people chose the Mihawk but not Shanks? What was the reason? The answer to the question lies when Mihawk got the title. I mean the time frame. I think you already have an answer, right? I think after Shanks lost his left hand in the East Blue, people started to think that if Shanks and Mihawk were to fight again, Mihawk would win. So they came to a conclusion that Mihawk is the strongest swordsman now. After learning that Mihawk and Shanks aren't having their daily duels anymore, they became even more convinced. So they assumed that Shanks might have declined to fight Mihawk, or Mihawk doesn't want to fight Shanks anymore because it's a foregone conclusion. But I know that that's not the case, because Ichiro Oda said that even though Shanks lost his left hand, it didn't affect his strength. He's as powerful as before. Nothing changed. So if that's the case, how would we, the readers, find out who is stronger or will remain strongest until the end? We know sometime in the past, Shanks and Marshall D. Chase fought each other and Shanks got injured. Remember, he got injured, not defeated. So we're assuming that they'll fight again in the future, and this time it's possible that Shanks might get injured and it will affect his strength. So he'll not be as strong as he was before. So by default, Mihawk would become the strongest swordsman to us. Moreover, he promised Zoro that he'll remain the strongest swordsman in the world until Zoro challenges him again. And he can also talk about the Samurai Gorosei. He also has a supreme great sword. So why don't people call him the strongest swordsman? Well, the answer is simple. He doesn't like being in the news. Does that mean he's stronger than Mihawk? Well, as far as swordsmanship is concerned, Mihawk is the best. But I do believe Mihawk would remain undefeated even if he fights the Samurai Gorosei.